I'm not too sure. My memory is very vague, but I do recall what their stadium used to be.
Was it the old? Where were they playing at then?
That old AAA baseball stadium or
Okay.
Double A. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the.
I think it's pretty much the same place now, right? Just pre-renovation. I think that's what they turned.
Yeah, I went with the national team for the Gold Cup. Don't recall who we played either. We played there. It was a great atmosphere, though. You know, they've got something special down there, and we've got something special up here, and that's why this rivalry is so great.
What are you expecting from the atmosphere on Sunday?
I don't know, but I mean, for me, it's another day at the office. I'm proud to be I'm proud to belong to this organization, and it's a very meaningful game for us. So it's a very meaningful game for me.
Sure.
How much do you think that rivalry's changed? Is like you were there. I'm sure the crowds weren't quite the same the first time you were down there with the Sounders.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll have some fans now. So, it goes for both teams. You can't compare. I mean, when we used to play back in the old Quest Field, what did you fit? 2,500, maybe 3,000, and look what we have now. We had 40,000 for a midweek game, and they're the same thing. I think these two teams have set the standard for what, the atmosphere should be in MLS. That's why this game's so special. These are two teams that just don't like each other. I'm getting my first taste of it, but you can tell the fans don't like each other. The teams don't, have a distaste for one another, and it's because they both have started something very special.
Sure. And I've asked a couple of the guys that have been around for a while to define what the rivalry means to you. But for you, coming in from the outside, how would you define what Portland and Seattle is, both league-wide and just kind of on a club level?
Yeah, standard. It's the standard. I think this rivalry it has set a high bar of, what a rivalry should be in the MLS. I think both fan clubs have really set an identity. They let it be known that this is something very important to them. For me, it's an opportunity. I've played in rivalry games in other countries, and I've always taken these as an opportunity. And I had this opportunity, Tigres, Monterrey, and I took it and kind of put myself in a place with the fans, and I'm looking to do the same thing here. I mean, anybody who does well this game is going to be remembered by both fan bases, and I want to remember my time in Seattle for the right reasons.
Sure, and the league has kind of pushed New York City and the Red Bulls as kind of what they want to be a new type of standard. But to me, this is just kind of a different thing out here. How would you sort of contrast the new wave MLS rivalries versus what's going on here?
Listen, if we sat down and compared what the league thinks and what I think, it'd be two different things. So take it for what it's worth. They can have the color red and color blue as the city of New York or whatever the hell that is. I'm not sure. It's not about marketing. It's not about fabrication. It's about, actual games. And there's been some actual bad blood between these teams, not only in league but Open Cup play, and not only in MLS but back in the day. So this is a rivalry like any other in the league. For the history that it has, it should be respected as such. We respect New York and New Jersey and all they got going on over there. I think it's great for the league to increase these rivalries. But when you talk about actual rivalries with some meat in it, yeah, I think this is one of them.
Sure.
What's the feeling with the guys after Wednesday's result, not only on the training field but at the locker room?
It's about time. I think we understand the responsibility we have. Nobody wants to be remembered as the first team not to make, the playoffs. This is a team that's set a pretty high bar from, its first official MLS match. So we by no means think we're better than everybody else, but we do hold ourselves to a pretty high standard. And I think even the guys who are new to this club hold themselves personally to a higher standard. So we all want to be part of something. We know that we're in debt to a lot of people. So we're eager to get this going. We're eager to keep building. I thought it was unfortunate we couldn't get something against Los Angeles because up until that moment we built a good amount of momentum, going forward, and it would have been nice to have been able to get something out of that game. And then against Dallas, what we did, it could have been a very different tune coming into this game.
Did it feel like the dam was broken? Is there a pressure release for the younger guys, or is it just next game up?
Yeah, the younger guys, they've got so much pressure on them. I think it's external. And that external pressure then kind of makes internal pressure, for themselves, and they should be enjoying these moments. It's about learning for them. There should be no pressure on them. They should be free to make mistakes because they kind of have that carte blanche to make mistakes. It's the only way they're going to get better, is if they make mistakes and learn from it. And us as the older guys, we've got to be there, to help them and allow them to help us. So, they should be just soaking this in, because this type of game doesn't happen every day. These games are special. At the end of your career, you're going to think about trophies, medals, rings, these rivalries, the atmospheres in these games and what it was like. And I'm sure years from now they'll be in my position and they'll be talking about this game and they'll recall their first memories. So I'm hoping to make it a memorable one.
Now besides the rivalry and stuff, does it matter with the game that both teams are below the playoff mark and you're both struggling to get into the playoffs and you've both kind of had a rough season so far? You guys in the Timbers?
What can anybody say to the Timbers? They were in the same boat last year and they won the MLS Cup. You can't say anything to them. That's one of the benefits, one of the perks that comes with being a champion. Look, there are players in this locker room that realize that. It doesn't matter what's going on right now in June, July. It's about what happens in November, December. I think we've got a team, and we're still building on that, and with performances and with attitude that has what it takes to compete. But we've got to show that. It's very easy to sit here and talk about it, but we have to be about it.
I think looking back through the numbers, I think Clint has missed, a third of his MLS games since he's come here. And obviously that comes with some caveats. But is that a legitimate criticism, or is that just missing what's sort of been asked of him since he's got here?
I think it's comes with the territory. You're picking up a national team player who plays probably close to something like 50, 60 games a year, It is what it is. It's not the only team that has their problems with national team caliber players. You're going to miss some guys, and then you're going to have injuries, run of form, suspensions. It just comes with the territory. You get what you pay for with Clint. You look what he does with the national team, and that's why those performances have gotten him here. What he did in the Premiership, and since he's been here and he's played, he's been a special player for us, and we'd love to have him on the field more. But it's one of those things that kind of comes with the territory. He's a big boy. He knows exactly what he's doing. Unlucky. I think Siggy's right. At times, we probably have to take care of players better if we're league front office. He might have been a target, but it comes with the territory. Sometimes you react the wrong way. I'm sure he didn't mean to react that way. It happens. But Clint's a guy that we absolutely, want on the field for us. I'm sure any club in this league would want him on the field for them.
Sure.
With the experience of this rivalry for the first time, have you noticed a different environment here, the attitude of the players towards this game? Are they working harder? Do you feel like there's any difference out of any other game?
I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it's the kind of boiling over of things that have happened over the last few weeks, or that it's this week leading up to this game, but you can definitely feel that guys are a little bit more eager to go in for that challenge, a little bit more just a little extra effort. So it's normal. I think we have to keep our emotions in check and be ready for whatever's thrown at us. Come Sunday. It's not an easy team. They've got some very dangerous players, but I'm sure they're saying the same things about us. I'm sure they're not taking us lightly like we're not taking them lightly. Look, they're the MLS champs right now, so they have the last word right now.